Hi everyone, James Marin here, holistic registered dietitian, environmental nutritionist, diabetes expert, speaker, and author. I'm here to tell you that November is more than the start of the holidays, right? I'm here to tell you November is more than just eating a lot and desserts. Do you know what November is? November is National Diabetes Awareness Month. But I want to make this even more of an impact. I want to make it a global diabetes awareness month, right? Because there are some interesting and important things you need to know about diabetes, okay? So share this video with people you know in your life, whether it's family or friends or acquaintances or anyone. Just share this because there are things you need to know about diabetes. Are you ready? Number one, did you know 1 out of 10 people have diabetes globally? It's even worse in the United States, okay? So 1 out of 10 people roughly have diabetes. And of those 1 out of 10, 1 out of every 4 don't even know they have diabetes. That is insane. And if you think that's already a lot of people, because again, it's out of 10 people you know, 1 person has diabetes. Out of those people, 1 in 4 don't know they have diabetes. They are not going to the doctor, they haven't done lab work, they have no clue what's going on in their body. But I'm guessing if it's someone like you or your friend or a family member, I'm guessing that they feel tired, maybe they're urinating a lot, they're getting headaches, they feel dizzy, they feel faint. So they're having all these symptoms, right? If it's progressed a lot and they just don't know what's going on, they may feel numbness and tingling, right? So you maybe have these symptoms or you know someone with these symptoms and you don't know what's going on. Most likely it's diabetes, right? Given the statistics. And what's scary is that this is only going to increase if we do not take action, right? If we do nothing about it, it's going to increase. So we're talking about our children, our nieces, our nephews, all the young people you know in your life. They're growing up in this society to be a sicker generation, right? Diabetes in the next 10 to 15 years is expected to increase by 35 to 55%. So it ranges, but it's going to increase by a lot. These numbers are going to continue to increase, right? So we're going to look at maybe 1 in 5, globally will have some form of diabetes. And it could be even 1 in 2 might not even know they have diabetes. Statistics could increase drastically, okay? And that is scary because the whole idea is that when you're healthy, I'm healthy. And you're thinking like, what do you mean? What does that even mean? Well, you're a part of my community. You're a part of the globe, of the world economy. You do something special. Maybe you're a doctor, maybe you do plumbing, maybe you're an electrician or you're a farmer. You're important. Things you do are important. So if you're too sick to work or do the things you love, or more importantly, be with the people you love, right? If you're too sick to play with your children, if you're not feeling well, to go on a date with your wife or your boyfriend or girlfriend or whoever, right? Or you can't go to school, or you have to be on disability, or you're always in the doctor's office and you're on all these medication. So this is really serious, okay? So now globally, 422 million people have diabetes, some form of diabetes, pre-diabetes, gestational diabetes, type 2 diabetes, type 1.5, type 1, there are a lot of different forms of diabetes out there, and 422 million people have that. And I want to give you some context. So this is a really cool example of giving you some context, because I could throw around, 422 million and billion and trillion. What does that mean? Let me give you some context, right? So if I was to say, hey, let's stay in this room where I'm at for 1,000,000 seconds, how long do you think that would be? 1,000,000 seconds, okay, in a room. So that would be 11 days, okay? Pretty crazy. We could do it though, right? We could stay in a room for 11 days, get some Netflix, get put a bed in there and just kind of relax, watch TV, hopefully have some food coming, but you could do it, right? 11 days, no problem. What if I said, let's stay in a room for 1,000,000,000 seconds? How long do you think that would be? What do you think? Well, that would be 31 years. So there's a huge difference, right, between 1 million seconds and 1 billion seconds, right? 31 years compared to 11 days. That is crazy. That would be like going to prison, right? You're trapped in a room for 31 years. You couldn't do that. You wouldn't want to do that, okay? And 1 trillion is even more insane. Because if you stayed in a room for 1 trillion seconds, it's impossible. You would die, because a trillion seconds equates to 31,000 years. 31,000 years, okay? So even in 100 lifetimes, you couldn't stay in a single room for 1 trillion seconds. So that's what we're talking about. And the reason why I give this example is because 422 million people have diabetes. So you can see how big that is. And let's get to another big number. Globally, we spend about $825 billion every year. That's just in 1 year. We spend that globally on diabetes, whether that's doctor's visits and health insurance, medication, having a nurse come to your home, all those things that come with being sick, guys. You don't want to be sick, okay? And these stats, these numbers are huge. They affect all of us, right? Because all that money, $825 billion, could be going to help people around the world, right? In our country or the country you live, education and infrastructure and more jobs and helping the environment, whatever you care about, that's money being taken away from that, what you care about, and going towards helping people with diseases. Now, that sounds great, right? Like, yeah, let's help people with disease. Great, that's awesome. We should be doing that. But here's something else you probably don't know, something else that's not really told to you by your doctor or other health professionals, other dietitians even. So this is something that's not told to you, but 9 out of 10 of you most likely have type 2 diabetes, right? And whether it's your grandma or your grandpa or your mom and dad or whomever, your friend, most likely they have type 2 diabetes, okay? 9 out of 10 people do who have diabetes, okay? So type 2 diabetes is not only completely preventable, but depending where you are in your diabetes, how long you've had it, the symptoms can be reversed, okay? So you don't have to have type 2 diabetes for the rest of your life. It does not have to be a lifelong sentence, okay? It can be something that you do away with the correct lifestyle approaches, okay? And so what can happen if you don't take action, if you do nothing, if you continue your lifestyle the way it is, if you continue eating poorly, with what you're doing or what your friends and family are doing, right? Well, diabetes is now the 7th leading cause of death in our country, in the United States, and even now globally. So with that being said, these are deaths that can be avoided, right? And it's not a fun death, right? Like death ever is. But with diabetes, it's a very slow, painful, agonizing way to die, right? I'm being very honest with you right now. Because with diabetes, it starts with some high blood sugar. It starts with these little symptoms of nausea or lots of urinating and, feeling dizzy or faint, etc. But then it goes to losing your sight. Then it goes to getting infections. And then the infections can cause you to have amputations, right? And then your kidneys start to give out and your liver, and you may experience a heart attack or a stroke. So you're gonna be relying on your family, you're gonna be relying on hospital care, to just do basic things. Bathe yourself, get ready. You do not want that. No one wants that, right? For those of you that maybe have family members going through that, my heart goes out for you. I know how painful that is and hard to see, okay? And so there is even hope for those people if they can better manage their diabetes, but there's definitely hope for you and the younger generation to avoid diabetes. That's what the awareness is about. That's what National Diabetes Awareness is all about. It's being aware of these hard truths and taking action, right? If you have a grandparent or parent with diabetes, you're 50% more likely to get diabetes for a number of factors. It is genetics somewhat, but there's a great example. This is given by Dr. Michael Greger, but this is a great example of you have a gun and your genetics are the ammo and your lifestyle pulls the trigger, right? So you get what that means? You could have the genetics, it could run in your family, but if you're eating sugary cereals and sugary yogurts and ice cream and cookies and cakes and lots of processed sweets and sugar and processed animal fats, sausages and hot dogs and, lots of deep fried food, fried chicken, so if you're eating all those junk foods, right, then you're more likely to pull that trigger and get diabetes, okay? So the power is in your hands. It's not easy, but it's a lot easier than having to go down that road of being sick and unhealthy and being at the doctors all the time. So it's very important you make lifestyle changes. We want to show you how to do that. Definitely, click, follow us, like this, share this. What we want to do is overall tell you to avoid the processed foods, be physically active, and we want you to eat more whole foods. What does that mean? Well, that means that instead of eating processed foods, so what's a processed food? Let's take corn, for example. Let's say you want to eat an ear of corn. That's a whole food. Great, have some corn. But what's a processed food? Well, we look at our cereals, and if we look at a lot of cereals, what do they have in there? Corn syrup. And then we also made high fructose corn syrup, right? So a lot of these processed ingredients come from whole foods. So what I challenge you to do, and share this with your friends and family, is to eat more whole foods, right? It's eating oatmeal instead of an oatmeal cookie that has maybe a little bit of oatmeal, but it's lots of sugar and butter and eggs and all this other fatty, sugary stuff in it, right? It's eating strawberries instead of strawberry jam, okay? It's eating, brown rice instead of white rice, right? So we make these choices to eat more whole foods, right? Eating beans and lentils, get some of those good fruits and vegetables in instead of fruit snacks, or veggie chips, right? So again, we don't want those extremely processed foods. We want whole foods. Whole foods are gonna help to heal you. Whole foods are gonna help prevent diabetes symptoms and being sick from diabetes, okay? Whole foods can help you better manage your diabetes. So you take less insulin, less metformin, less of any other of the medications you're on, okay? So this is very important stuff, guys. Very important stuff. So again, 422 million in the world have diabetes. That's crazy. Almost 1 out of every 10 people has diabetes. 1 in 4 does not know they have diabetes. So if you share this video, that might help some people. Go to the doctor. Go see a dietitian or nutritionist. See what's going on in your body, especially if you're feeling the symptoms of dizziness, extreme thirst, constant urination, if you're feeling faint, low energy, and your body, something's feeling off, right? You can't lose weight, or you're just rapidly gaining weight, or you're very thin and you can't seem to gain weight. That's also a sign of diabetes. So there's a lot of things, but if you're just feeling off and you haven't been to the doctor, go to the doctor. And for those of you watching, share this so people can get this awareness, guys. If we catch diabetes early enough, you can reverse the symptoms, especially type 2 diabetes, which again, 9 out of 10 people who have diabetes have type 2 diabetes, okay? Again, this is gonna cost us $825 billion in a year. Think of what our world could do with all that money every year, right? So the less diabetes we have, the more we can put that money to education, to infrastructure, to important things that improve our lives, okay? Because this disease can be 100% avoided, okay? So guys, we care about you. We hope you enjoy this information. We want you to nurture this and grow this, because I wish I could give you all the information in this 5 or 7 minute video, but I can't, right? So follow us, check out our blog, definitely plug into our information so you're a part of our family and you're up to date on the latest information in diabetes that can help reverse your symptoms, that can help better manage your diabetes. So thank you so much. Have a great day. We hope to see you and hear from you soon.